So a lot of companies spend a ton of money on a human capital management platform, or HCM. But let's be real. There's a huge difference between just having one of these things and making it truly work for you. In this explainer, we're going to break down why these powerful systems so often miss the mark and what a new way of fixing that actually looks like.
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? You go out and you get this incredible system to manage your most important asset, your people. But does it actually become a strategic tool that gives you an edge? Or does it just slowly morph into another complicated headache for your IT team?
Because for so many businesses, the reality of their HCM, well, it's more than a little frustrating. There's this massive gap between what was promised in the sales pitch and what your teams are actually dealing with day to day.
I mean, just think about it. You've poured so much money and so many hours into implementing this thing. The promise was always about seamless workflows, amazing insights, a better life for your employees. If that's not what you're seeing, trust me, you are not alone.
So what's going on here? Why does this keep happening? Well, it usually boils down to three really common and kind of connected system failures that quietly sabotage the whole investment. Let's dig into them.
Okay, so first up, you've got low strategic adoption. It always starts with the people. And that kind of snowballs into the second problem, all these hidden risks in really critical areas like payroll and compliance. And then the final kicker is the result of those first two. You're just not using the mountain of data your system is collecting. Let's take a closer look at each one.
This first one really creates a domino effect. Think about it. If your employees find the system clunky or confusing or just a pain to use, they're not going to use it. They'll find workarounds. And just like that, the value of the platform just plummets. Your data gets messy. And believe it or not, it can actually start to hurt your ability to keep your best talent. Okay, the next one is a biggie, and it's all about risk. We're talking about modules like Global Payroll or those super complex compensation tools. These things are incredibly complicated and have tons of regulations. Without a true expert watching over them, one tiny mistake, one small misconfiguration, and suddenly you're facing a massive compliance nightmare and a huge financial problem.
And the final piece of the puzzle is the data frustration. You know you have all this incredible information locked away inside your HCM, but trying to get it out in a way that's actually useful feels impossible. You can't build the reports you need, you can't measure the ROI on your talent. It's kind of like having this giant, amazing library, but you can't find a single book you're looking for.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the problems. Let's pivot to the solution. And it really starts with a shift in how you think about it. It's about moving away from seeing support as just another cost to finding a real, true strategic partner. So there's this new model gaining traction called managed assurance. And the whole idea is to get way beyond just, fixing support tickets as they pop up. Instead, it's a service that gives you a partner who's accountable for finding and managing the exact experts you need, making sure the system runs perfectly and actually helps you hit your big picture goals. So you might be asking, okay, how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's basically a three-step process. First, they do what's called niche curation. They go out and find the absolute best verified specialists for your specific system, whether it's Workday Payroll or something else. Then they add the managed assurance layer. That's them handling all the project management so your team doesn't have to. And the result? A true strategic outcome. Your HR team finally gets a reliable partner who is 100% focused on your success. And this whole approach is really built on three core pillars of support. And what's cool is that each one is designed to directly tackle one of those big problems we just walked through. So, pillar number one, it goes right after that low adoption problem. Instead of just hoping people use the system, experts actually get in there to streamline workflows and make the user experience better. The end game here is to make the system so easy, so useful, that your people actually want to use it. That's how you get your money's worth.
Next, pillar 2. This is all about taking on that huge compliance risk we mentioned. You bring in proven partners who live and breathe the complex stuff, like global payroll or compensation configurations. You get guaranteed expertise, which means your risk is being managed for you, not by you.
And finally, pillar 3. This is where we solve that frustrating data problem once and for all. These specialists will come in and build the custom dashboards and analytics you've always dreamed of, the ones that show you things like turnover risk and talent performance. This is how you go from drowning in a sea of raw data to actually having insights you can act on.
So, when you get all three of these pillars working together, everything changes. The whole story flips. You stop just managing a piece of technology, and you start actively unlocking the return on your biggest investment, your people.
And I think this quote just nails it. Your HCM platform is a tool for people, not a burden for IT. That's the mindset shift right there. The tech is supposed to serve your people strategy, not the other way around.
So look, the bottom line is this. You don't have to settle for that frustrating reactive support model anymore. A service like HCMintouch can give you this managed assurance for the entire life of your platform, long after your first launch.
So if any of this sounds familiar, if you're facing these challenges, the team behind this would love to chat. You can shoot them an email or just check out their website to learn a little more. And that brings us right back to where we started. But now we're looking at it a little differently, right? The choice isn't really between having a strategic tool or an IT burden. It's about choosing to be proactive instead of reactive. Really, the only question left to ask is, are you ready to finally maximize that huge investment you've made in your people?